question this morning about whether it actually is Friday. But you know what? If you blinked and you missed the open and the first 1 hour of trade and you saw it right now, you'd assume that everything was hunky-dory, because look at the screen right now. It's fabulous. The Nifty 50 trading above 25,000. You have the broader markets that are also looking particularly good. But you know what? There's a new listing today. Oswald Pumps made its debut, listing at a 3.3% premium. It continues to trade higher. The shares opened at 634 on the NSE, and the issue was, of course, subscribed as much as 34 times the overall. We spoke with the company's managing director, Vivek Gupta, about their plans post-listing. Listen in.
I just wanted to start with, now with the eventual listing of the company as well, what are you looking forward to the most? Because we've seen the company being one of the fastest growing companies in the agricultural pump space. How do you see the growth for the company essentially in FY26 and 27 with the backdrop of very high government initiatives like PM Kusum? So what is the kind of growth outlook that you're seeing now that you're listed?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, and very, very good morning. Definitely, in this present year, FY26, we are looking very good growth, and because government is taking high initiatives and demand is so high, so we are very much confident. Whatever trust shown by our investors in Oswald Pumps Limited, definitely. We are very sure they will be happy, all will be happy, and simultaneously FY27 again we are looking in a very big way. So absolutely, as per our vision and our team's vision, we are quite confident for future period. Thank you.
So any kind of growth aspect, because when I look at your financials also over the last 2 to 3 years, the growth has been very strong. You almost tripled your growth between FY23 and the 9 months of results that you've declared. So essentially, can we expect a 20 to 25% growth momentum, to say the least, over the next couple of years?
Definitely, as our history, as if we see all our history growth, so definitely we are expecting in near future in a good growth path. And as per our historic numbers, so definitely we are very sure in coming years, in coming months, we will get very, very high growth path. So we are quite very okay.
Very high growth path, understood. So now, if I look at your business largely operating in the pump space, but agricultural pumps is one of the biggest focus, and I think within those products, the submersible pumps is roughly 67% of your business right now. Is that one of the key reasons why our margins have actually doubled from 15% to 30% over the last 2 years? Because you were largely in the monoblock pumps earlier, and that share has largely been growing at its own pace. But with the increase of the submersible pumps, essentially, will that be the near-term growth driver for you as well?
No, practically we are making all type of pumps, all grid type of agriculture, domestic and industrial pumps. But from so many years, last 5 years, we actively participate in solar pump market, and simultaneously in last 1.5 year, we entered into government business also. So where we got backward integration in entire solar system in last 5 years. So why we got very good margins. And even we have moreover big plans in near future for retain our margin, and even we are seeing in near future our margin will be very good because of introducing solar pump market, because it's a very skilled program. It's a highly technical program is there. So, and we are the key manufacturer in this. We have the best expertise in this sector. Thank you.
So just one question I wanted to take forward on the scheme, as you mentioned as well, the PM Kusum scheme, largely, government incentivizing farmers to use solar energy. Now with that, they are incentivizing farmers to install solar pumps as well, and that's where your growth has also come in over the last 2 years. Specifically, I think the number which I have is roughly 2 to 2.5 lakh pumps is what you've installed already under the scheme. Correct me if I'm wrong, sir, on this number. What is the current scope of the scheme essentially to get the growth outlook for the company as well? How much is the current target by the government? Is it, because it's a very high number, if I'm not wrong, for over 50 lakh pumps is what they're looking to install. So just in terms of market, how many is that the government is looking to install in the scheme over the next few years, and how many do you think you will be able to install and participate in tenders for, at least if not a direct number, a range if you can give us, sir?
Okay. Basically, if we see about till date, so around more than 7 lakh pumps had been installed. But the government's expectation is more than 8 crore pumps to be solarized in entire nation. So the target is very big, and definitely government is doing and working in a very aggressive manner. So if you can see, only 0.7 million pumps had been installed till today. So future is so phenomenal, and every year government has a big expectation the entire industry should install maximum number of pumps. So with this installation, so nation's agriculturists get benefited. So absolutely, it's a phenomenal growth of agriculture solar pumps there.
Okay, so that's the management of Oswal Pumps, a new listing, the debutant on the stock markets today, doing well, up about 4.3% or thereabouts. A lot of action in the primary markets, but let's talk about the secondary markets, because all of you have questions about that. Joining us today to answer those questions, Jatin Gedia of Mirai Asset, Sher Khan, and Samir Dalal, Natwar Lal and Sons. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time, and apologies for keeping you waiting. Unfortunately, we have a bit of a curtailed show today, so we'll attempt to take as many questions as possible. Let's keep the answers as crisp and cogent as possible. The first question is from Puneet, who's writing in from Gurgaon, and it's a pretty broad-based question. So it's actually the perfect question to start with, Samir. He's got 2 lakh rupees that he's planning to deploy, and he's looking for fairly valued companies in the mid-cap space, perhaps beyond, where he can deploy, where he could see potential upside over the course of a year or more.
So yeah, I know the question is very good, and his thought process is also decent that he wants to buy value. But right now, in this kind of a market, coming by value is not the easiest thing. So sometimes what you got to do is do growth at a reasonable value, right? So there are companies like that. We've discussed them in the past. We think companies that can continue to grow where valuation is decent in the large cap space are the two-wheelers, Hero Moto, Bajaj Auto, something like that. He can look at the banking and financial services space. I think it may be one bank in the large cap, which is an HDFC bank, one mid-cap bank, IDFC First Bank, one in the NBFC space, a housing finance company called Samman Capital. He can look at renewables, energy, 2 stocks that we've always recommended and we like, Sterling and Wilson Solar, KPI Grade. Pari Energy is also good, but the valuations are a bit too high for that. He can make a basket of various stocks in various sectors where value is still available at reasonable. I mean, growth is there, but value is still reasonable, rather than just buying everything that's pure value. Sometimes, buying some pure value means that these companies are not growing, and that could be kind of a value trap kind of situation.
All right, so that's with regards to where Samir's picks are. Our next question is from Satish Kumar, who's writing in from Bengaluru. He's purchased 4,000 odd shares of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank a year ago at 51 rupees, sitting on a loss of 1 lakh rupee right now, and wants to know if he can exit now and invest in a different stock. He says he doesn't see any upward movement, though the results were good. I'll take this up with you, Jatin, though. What are the charts indicating for Utkarsh Small Finance Bank? Do you think he can exit now and enter some other counter, or should he continue to hold and recover some of his losses?
See, first of all, I think the investment that he has made, he should definitely exit, because despite the overall buoyancy in the benchmark, this stock has not been able to surpass its immediate resistance of 25. So I believe that definitely he should switch over. Now, where he should switch over, I think there are opportunities in the frontline space. We believe that Kotak Bank could be the dark horse going ahead in the private sector banking space. So I think Kotak, he should exit from Utkarsh and shift to Kotak Bank.
All right, so shift to Kotak Bank is a call from Jatin on the trade that you've suggested. Viral is calling us back after a couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Viral, very good morning to you. Reliance Infra, I think, is the question that you have for us. What would you like to know?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
That's my question. Same as before, because I think the analysts that time were not, they didn't have the answer for the question.
Yes.
So if in case, I get an answer this time.
So why don't you
That would
ask
be great.
fresh so that everybody knows what we're talking about?
Yeah. So again, I would like to know the future of the company in terms of, what is the future, because, it started going up of late in past 2-3 months. And there are a lot of deals that the company is signing in the defense, they're pouring into defense sector and things like that. So yes, and they're repaying their debts and things like that. So what do they think, what could be the future henceforth for the company?
And also the land bank that they're sitting on. Okay, so I get
Correct, yes.
I get that question. And you're sitting on a cozy profit of 2.2 crore as we speak. So you want to know whether to hold on. This is your intention. You intend to hold on, right?
I intend to hold on, yes.
Yeah.
So I just want to know what do they foresee the future of the company as?
Okay. Samir, view on
Yeah.
this one. I'm not sure if you track, but then if you do, it would be appreciated.
So we do know about the company, but we don't have active coverage and a view on the per se prospects. I agree with everything Viral said, that they are repaying some of their debts. They're getting these defense contracts. Not defense contracts, but defense tie-ups in place at the moment. And then hopefully they will get some orders from the government or from wherever for whatever they set up. But I think it's still a while away. It is a turnaround story. It's not going to be a one-way ride-up. You're going to find volatility, Viral. But Viral, you've done a killer job. You've done better than most other people. You're making a lot of money. So kudos to you, and whatever you're doing is working.
Working indeed. The only thing that I would caution, Viral, is to be aware of concentration risk, as has been pointed out by Samir. There is volatility that could come into play, and so you could lose ground very quickly in case this is a large part of your portfolio, which I think you have said in the past that it is. But thanks so much for calling us again. What we'll do is we'll try and ask a few of our analysts whether they have a specific view on Reliance Infra, and we'll try and get in touch with you when we find out whether we can. Bajaj Finance is the next counter. Venkatramani is calling us from Bengaluru and asking whether this is the right time to buy or should he wait for more time. The holding period is for 15 months. Okay, so it's a reasonable time frame. It's now more affordable as well. You can easily pick up 100,000 shares, not 100,000, but 100,000 shares of Bajaj Finance. Samir is laughing quite happily there. Samir, what is the view?
No, if somebody can pick up 100,000 shares at this price, we don't really need to give him information. We should be collecting information from him. But having said that, yes, the change in price really doesn't change anything in the valuations, because at the end of the day, the earnings, the number of shares, everything comes down. The number of shares goes up, the earnings, EPS, everything comes down. So now let's talk about the brass tacks valuation. So Bajaj Finance has actually had a very stellar run from 6,000 to about 9,000, now 600 to 900. And that has pulled valuations back again into kind of premium zone. Now, if you look at it on historical basis, yes, it continues to trade at a discount to what the historical PE price to book valuation was. But you got to realize that at that time, Bajaj Finance was a much smaller unit, right? When it was traded 10 times and 11 times price to book. So growth was a lot easier to do at 40-50%. Now on a book size of 2 lakh plus crores, it's not going to be that easy to keep growing at that aggressive pace. So growth is going to taper, and hence we believe that valuation expansion from here is difficult. You're purely playing on the fact that he's going to be able to grow at a decent pace and keep NPAs under check. If he's able to do that, maybe you can get a 15-20% CAGR return. But from this price, I would not be recommending a buy at this price. I would say if it comes closer to 750-800 rupees, that would be a good entry point to generate decent returns over a period of time with low risk. So wait a bit, wait for a correction if it comes. If not, find other stocks in the NBFC space, which may be attractive. I think HDB is coming up for listing, something worth looking at. Part of the HDFC stable NBFC company. We believe growth there will also be quite good. So something like that would be more of an interest or to look at this point than Bajaj Finance.
All right, so that's with regards to where Bajaj Finance stands. Our next question is from Sigdha, who's calling in from Hyderabad. Sigdha, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Hi, good morning. Hello, everyone. So I just want to invest 6 lakhs of corpus. So I just want to know some suggestions. So I have selected 4 stocks. One is Dixon Tech,
Okay.
Gravita India, Premier Energies, and VIT Vibhag,
Okay.
VITech Vibhag. So I just want to know for short term if I could invest on these four stocks, or else I just want to get some suggestions on short term for
Okay.
45 days.
Okay, got your question, Sigdha. I think I'll take this up with Jatin and ask him. Jatin, you've already heard the stocks that she has picked from the basket, but she's almost 6 lakhs to invest in, and that's a huge sum. Which stocks would you think that she should invest in from a short-term perspective?
I would require the name of the stocks, please.
Gravita India, Vatek Vabag, Dixon is one she said, and then she said Premier Energies, but she also said that you can give your suggestions as well. So whatever counters are looking attractive right now in terms of charts, you can suggest your counters as well.
Yeah, so the stocks which he has picked out are mostly from the mid and small cap space. So, considering that she wants to build a portfolio, I would rather suggest to go with a mix of frontline as well as mid and small. So, from the frontline, we like Bharti Airtel. That is one stock that we need to suggest her that she needs to pick. One Bharti Airtel. Apart from that, the banking space is looking good. So Kotak and Bharti would be from the frontline space. Apart from that, most of the ideas that she has suggested, the trend for Vatek, Vabab, Gravita, all are on the negative side. So as of now, she should not venture into buying some of these stocks rather than focus on some of the frontline counters that we have suggested.
All right. Can you repeat the frontline counters that you suggested, Jatin?
Yeah, so Bharti Airtel was one of them from the telecom space. Apart from that, Kotak is also looking good from the private sector bank.
Okay, got your point, Jatin. Thank you so much for that. All right, our next caller then, Murli is calling from Bengaluru. Murli, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Very good morning to Mahima and
morning.
to the panelists also. I bought 600 shares of Transrail Rating, a recent listing, last year listing, at a rate of 629.86. I've seen the interview at the time of public issue. They talk about 20% minimum compounded annual growth, and seems to be in the transmission as well as lighting line, which is doing very well now. What is your view from a 1 or 2 years perspective? I'm willing to wait. I'm a long-term investor.
Okay, got your question, Murli. I'll take this up with Samir. Samir, not sure if you have a view on this counter. Transrail Lighting is the counter. Transrail Lighting, and Murli has already done his research as usual on the counter. But what's the outlook like?
Sorry, this is a company we've not seen at all.
All right, Jatin, I'm not sure if you have enough data on the charts. I mean, whatever data suggests and whatever data is present with you.
Yeah, so overall, we believe that Transrail, the short-term trend is positive, and recently, since last couple of weeks, it has been correcting, and now it has reached its 40-day average, which is around 600. So good levels to enter. The overall trend is positive, and on the upside, we are expecting levels of around 719 to 725. So yes, good levels to enter, decent up move likely from current levels. The support or the stop loss level that should be maintained is around 589. So roughly 590 should be kept as a stop loss, and on the upside 720 is the target area.
Jatin, thanks so much for that view. Murli, hopefully that answers your question. Well, that brings us to the end of this curtailed edition of Ask Profit. Jatin, as well as Samir, thanks so much for joining in. Of course, we're ending this program, but then we've got a great conversation lined up on the other side. We're speaking exclusively to Ramdev Agarwal, and he's going to tell you how to navigate these challenging times where you're seeing such a lot of volatility, not just in the Indian market, but also globally. Do stay tuned for that.
गोल्ड प्लस क्लियर ग्लास, पार हो या नियर, सब कुछ दिखे क्लियर।
Source is an ED seeking explanation on Yuvraj Singh, Harbhajan Singh on why they are endorsing such platforms which are banned by Government of India, and the mule account and Benami transaction, the kind of promotional payout being given to some of the media houses, the ad rates are between 50 crore to 100 crore.
What happens in reality is that under the garb of skill-based game, they end up promoting gambling only.
27,000 crore is what the tax evasion, the top popular betting apps are actually evading. Between January and March alone, they have seen 1.6 billion of traction.
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what